Squeak. Welcome back, Mere Mortals. Today it is another edition of the monthly
Goals. We're coming in a tad bit late. We were COVID. It wasn't actually our fault. It was COVID.
We're blaming COVID. Now we've got to take ownership. It was us. We didn't do it. We didn't do it.
We could have made it happen if possible. So we're one Tuesday late.
Yes. But anyways, we'll get into it. We should do them online. Nah, Kyrin would hate to do them online. Look at him. He doesn't want to do it. So I'm going to look back. So just give you a reminder of our July goals. Kyrin had none. Zero. And I had quite a few. I'll just get straight out. Got all of them done. So I'm very happy about that. All of them completed. I don't even have them right in front of me, but all of them being ticked off.
Yeah,
I already have the August 2021 goals in front of me. What was your experience like? There was a question we had about whether the goal, not having any goals, hampered your ability to, be proactive.
Yeah, we're going to talk about energy as well, and sort of and the priorities and sort of like, did I get stuff done if I didn't have priorities? I think it was really good in a sense because sometimes I have had a lot of goals. For example, I wanted to get into NFTs, and I still had that in my June goals. So it was still like check out NFTs because I am fascinated by that. But then I found podcasting 2.0,
and that took over.
And that just consumed so much time and energy and things like that. So the thing is, like, am I really worse off? Well, look, there's a bunch of things I stopped doing. So. Not only did I not have goals for that month, but I have now stopped doing that checklist I have, the daily checklist, where it's like, affirmations in the morning, 15 minutes of Spanish. Did you exercise? Did you stretch for this long? Did you do German? Did you do, eat at the right calorie level? Did you follow the monthly goal for the eating stuff that I've been doing, like doing different types of diets and whatnot? So all that's out, and it's... nothing's really changed that much. Like, it's not like my Spanish is gone. It's not like I'm not exercising anymore. It's not like I'm not spending time in the morning, sort of just contemplating or doing things.
Yep.
Now, I think a lot of them are those sort of things where it could show up again in the future. So more 2 or 3 months down the line, if I haven't meditated for 2 or 3 months, then maybe I'll be like, oh, fuck, man, I'm getting stressed out.
Let's get back into
that sort of thing. Probably the same with Spanish and German. I'll notice 2 or 3 months, oh, that's really rough. That's not, you're not sounding good there. As far as not having goals, I think for 1 month or maybe even 2 months at a time, and especially when you're experimenting, trying out something completely new, I think then it's okay. You know what? Take a break, or if you're just feeling stressed out like I was and wanting to free up more time, I think that's okay because you will find new things to put it in. So I in a way, I would say this was a super productive month because it got me really interested in podcasting 2.0. It got me, sorted out a couple of things that I wanted personally to do better for the podcast and things like that. So, I think it was really good for me.
It was a good thing. Good. Yeah. Okay. All right, well, let's look into the August then. August 2021.
Yep.
Let's fast forward.
I might just do all of mine at once because I don't have many.
Good, okay.
I'm getting back into things again. And
still a lean monthly goal.
Yeah, so and because I also have ticked off quite a few things. So I should have mentioned as well that yearly goal I had of sort of like each month doing a different type of diet. So it'll be like 0% sugar or 20% sugar or doing paleo or whatever. I just looked, man. I never realized what paleo actually entailed. I thought it was it was a lot easier than I was expecting. It's more restrictive than keto. I didn't know that, so I'm not doing it.
What did you think paleo was?
I have no idea. I just remember hearing it.
It's harder than keto.
Yeah. So once I seen it's harder than keto, because I did keto last year, and I did it, and it wasn't the worst thing, but I didn't want to do it again. There was no benefit.
Yeah, paleo is like keto, but more restrictive.
Yeah, exactly. No dairy as well. Yeah, so
basically like nuts, meat.
Nuts, meat. I mean,
tubers, that sort of thing.
Yeah, so you can eat, I guess, carbs in the sense that you can eat as much vegetables and
it's shit. Look, it's shit. I wouldn't want to do it.
Yeah, no. So I'm not doing that. So this is August. It's my last month of doing an actual challenge. So one of my goals is being super strict with my 10% sugar. 'Cause sometimes I like to, I'll put it up to like 13%. I'll justify it in my mind. So it's like, no, super strict with the 10%. The other ones are real simple. So go to an intercambio meetup. So that's a Spanish one, which they do it on Saturday. It's been meaning to do it for ages, just never bothered going. Same with going to the one at Fridays on a Wednesday.
Oh, yep.
So that one as well. That's been on my to-do list for
ages.
So long. Finishing listening to 2.0. I actually have done that. Restarting shoutouts. So I need to start doing that. Some node stuff related to the value for value things, and doing a value for value episode, getting a new podcast. That's it.
Yep.
So sort of all the things that I was really interested in last month, just expanding it out a little bit, but not too much. It's not my, that's 6 goals instead of my normal 16. So
yeah, so no, it's good. It's more focused, I guess, and especially if you're coming off the back of no goals, I think it's good to just be like, okay, let's introduce a few.
Let's do 16.
Yeah, so no, that's cool. That's cool. Do you think you'll be able to do the intercambios?
Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking. But as soon as I had these locked in, written them down, then it's like lockdown, yes. So
there's this funny video going around. Obviously, because in Victoria they had, they went to 0 cases for a little while. 0 case, 0 case, 0 case.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, fantastic, we're out of lockdown. And then just one random day, it was like 6 cases, bang, 8-day lockdown. And it's like, oh, is that going to be?
That's sort of what I got, the feeling I got with Brisbane at the moment, where it's just, I think
that's what.
Who knows how?
Well, look, to be honest, I think we're going to get to the point where it's going to be any cases is going to be locked down. So I'd suggest that one, just be careful that doesn't get completed.
Yeah,
I'd be totally.
It's been there for almost a year now. If it goes another month or two,
it's going. Okay, cool. I'll go through mine again. I kept it the way that I break them down into body, mind, and soul. And these are looking into new yearly goals, because obviously my yearly goals start at August. So just keep that in mind. Mere Mortals had that, and we'll talk about the yearly goals in a future episode. But you'll get an insight into what mine are. So body wise. This particular month, I want to introduce Tabata style workouts. So minimum of 3 per week. So that's some form of, doesn't have to be, not do my normal ones when I can get back to doing normal ones. But this is, I can go and do, I want to be able to do something like 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off, 30 seconds on, 10 seconds off, something like that, where it's a little bit of a different workout style. So I want to introduce them minimum 3 times per week. I want to be performing a knees to chest 30-second hold and lunges stretch. Basically, it's a lower back / hip flexor movement that I want to be doing at least 3 times per week as well. This is more moving into, I don't do as much stretching as I need to, probably. And sometimes I will do them after a workout, but not all the time. So I want to make sure I'm being very explicit with this particular type of stretches. So,
I think stretching is probably the one thing that serious athletic people that I know, procrastinate and don't do more than anything else.
Because I think it's because we don't associate it with, that's improving me in a particular way, got to do this. But there's a particular reason I'm doing these particular stretches as well as part of my annual goals. So there's that one. And then I want to practice fatigued plank holds 4 times this month. So I wrote it in that particular way, fatigued plank holds, because of what I wanted to say I want to do more core work. But rather than say that in this particular month, I went, okay, well, I want to do planks, but I've got to do the planks 4 times this month when I'm already core fatigued. So that it means I've got to have done some ab workouts already to then do that and be fatigued.
Yeah.
It can be the same session. Now, for mind, I've got figure out in which way I want to give back to the community. So just for the podcasting community, the people who listen to the Mere Mortalites. I think I've got a way, so I want to implement it and see how it goes. I want to make a decision on my next steps of working. So I want to be focused on growth and learning. So there's a couple of opportunities, a couple of thoughts I got to do here. But as part of just broadly, I want to be focusing on the growth and learning and the opportunities there. Not so much, I can get this money for doing this, or this sort of glory and fame feeling. No, something else. I want to sort out my tax and use learnings from next year. So there's new stuff I got to do this time, which is, what are we doing with the business? How does that impact? How I'm doing a lot of things with my NFTs, profits in different spaces in the cryptocurrency world. How does that go and work? So there's going to be some stuff that it takes me a little bit, and there's going to be some learnings for next year. So maybe it'll help you out as well. We'll start looking at how that interacts, So I need to look into this properly, but transactions in between different wallets and stuff like that can have a tax implication as well.
Fucking hell, man, I'd be screwed.
Exactly. So what I was thinking, and I've got to actually look into this, is if you're doing, so say with the Satoshis to Satoshi, there's a taxation event happening there.
Yeah. See, I was looking into this a bit as well, and you don't get taxed on fiat. So I'm not getting taxed if I am buying things with Australian dollars and moving that money around from this bank account to over there and things like that.
But what you're moving is not a currency.
Yeah, and this is where I'm getting to the point of like, I reckon I could make a good case that I'm using it like a currency,
but again, legally under taxation law, not a currency. And that again, so that's my conversations I want to be having to kind of understand, like, okay, well, what are my implications here? If I'm moving money around between wallets and there's profits being made in between them, even if it's minor, can you be liable for not picking those up? So if it's like $100, well, you know,
I would say even less than $1,000, I would have imagined that they wouldn't be too stressed about that. But
look, obviously I know internally, like they've got a full, like massive cryptocurrency, like workforce at the moment, like task force looking specifically just into all this as well.
Yeah, okay.
And they can, again, we talked about this in the Meanderings episode a little while ago. They're tracking everything, man. They are tracking absolutely everything when it comes to, especially playing in the crypto world. They are tracking it all in terms of how those transactions are moving, because they can still track it through banks, right? You're still moving money somewhere.
Yeah.
And so they're still tracking that movement. So be wary of it. Figuring out what my new threshold would look like for investing percentages with my new living costs. So there's going to be some changes with how much I'm earning, as well as how I want to be investing. There's different changes to that. So I want to update my little figures that I've got in terms of my cost basis and where I'm moving money and where I'm putting savings and blah, 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 blah. I want to reread Men's Search for Meaning this month. I want to get back to apartment to actually read that. I want to read a whole cooking book this month as well, a cooking book. I want to go hard on personal Instagram this month. So you might have been seeing it if you follow me on my personal Instagram.
I have seen.
At least one per day at the moment. There might be a couple more stories. So I want to try and do that for the whole month. Just as not as a case of sharing to people and like, oh, go and watch this. No, just like for myself. Just like find something cool, something to post once a day, basically on my Instagram. Gets me out as well. Like, because if you're just staying at home doing nothing, well, it's just be boring. So
yeah,
gets me to do that.
You wonder why I do random shit. I wonder why you do your Instagram, man. I look at it and I'm like, fuck, this is a waste of time.
But it's interesting enough. So I've been having more fun posting the last 4 days worth of stuff on there than I have for like maybe a month. So like maybe the last month I've been posting some food or some workouts.
Yeah,
sure, that's cool to me, but it's very fine between. The last couple of days of posting have been really fun.
Yeah,
like for me posting like a goat the other day,
that
was good fun. There was like a shot just in the morning, like I just really liked the view of the sky. Totally. And I think it goes more to the fact of, like, I'm not doing this for anybody else. It's just purely me for the fun. That's like, oh, this is pretty cool. Yeah. So I like doing that.
Just like me with the, you know,
it's you with like the blocks.
Yeah, my little dude at the park.
Yeah. Like nobody else cares, but as long as you care, it's like, that's cool.
Yeah, and like, you know, it did make it onto the podcast, so you could be saying, oh, Kyrin, you're doing it for that reason, but
it's not for that reason. Yeah. I want to begin the cooking challenge I've set up for myself. So obviously, stay tuned for the annual goals as to what that actually means.
Are you going to do any baking? Any like
maybe
desserts?
It's not listed obviously in there, but I might obviously. I'm not a big fan of that. Like I'm like food in general, savory. I'm cool. Baking, I just couldn't give a toss, man. I could not give a toss about cakes or whatever. I'm not as much of a sugar tooth person as you are, but maybe I'll try it out.
I saw a recent news story of there was a baking thing of something about croissants that was opened in Brisbane during the lockout.
Yeah, so it was like supposed to be like one of the best in the world. Aside from in Paris, it's in West End, and there was like 600 people lining up for it during the lockdown. Police were going around and were like, okay, as long as people were doing distancing.
Oh, really?
So they were letting people do it. Dude, some of the restrictions, crazy. Now into the final one, so Soul. I want to keep a 1 hour block free a week. So this was just purely in the sense of almost forcing a little bit of time for myself. Of you don't have to be efficient and effective all the time. It's not always about growth. So for me, I said just keep 1 hour block a week free, which I'm using much more than that right now, which is fine. But at least no week should go by where, you know, I feel like if I want to watch a documentary or I want to just do something random, I shouldn't feel like, oh, man, I wasn't being efficient and effective. No.
Are you going to put that on a certain time and a certain day, or just whenever it comes?
This is just one of those things. But I specifically said not anything that I already do that is just wasting time. So I don't want to use that time for, okay, well, just watch TikTok for an hour. Or just Instagram. No, that's not what that means. It means go and do something else, which I tend to feel like, oh, it's a waste of time. So for me, it's like watching a documentary, watching a movie, that's a waste of time. So I recently watched a movie, which I hadn't done for so long, man. And I would normally associate with, I'm just wasting 2 hours.
Yeah.
But this time around, I was like, okay, I want to watch a movie. The name escapes me, but it's the story of the guy who gets shot down during World War II, lives out on the boat for, what's his first name? Sampari. But he gets stuck out on a boat for like 40-something days, then gets picked up by the Japanese and gets dragged into
prisoner of war camps,
and then survives all of that after like so long. Escapes. I'll find out what the name is. The other one is I want to clean out my room, full dusting and throwing away of things. So I've already done the cleaning out, but more specifically is the throwing away of things. So not that I have a massive habit, but I have a habit of just keeping a lot of things that I have in, especially clothing that I've just had for a really long time. More for the, look, it's just another shirt, whatever, I'll just keep it in there. But dude, I reckon I've got, no joke, over 100 shirts. Easily, over 100 shirts. So I go, look, do I really need 100 shirts? Like, I'm telling you, there's a lot of just like workout shirts that I haven't worn for like years. Yeah, I'm just sitting there and I'm like,
do they even fit, or they're just you?
Nah,
just
most of them fit. Like most of them will last from like the last 3 years, right? So I have rotated them, but still have so many. So I want to just go through and be like, okay, look, just throw away stuff that I'm like, just give it away, properly. Yeah. And last one, I want to cook one good vegan meal. So,
well, you're screwed. That's impossible.
Oh man, actually, yesterday I made one. And it was really, really nice. But I won't count that because I've made that one before. So I want to make a different type of vegan meal. But dude, I've been getting into the world of obviously like learning more about cooking and understanding some of the ways to cook in a vegan perspective. Not for myself to turn vegan, but just the environment that I live in. It's just good to have that. And yeah, I just go, man, there's some products which you can get nowadays which are pretty cheap, like comparable to normal products. I go, damn, this is just so tasty. Fable, so Michael Fox, who we've interviewed in the podcast before. So they've teamed up with Grilled to have a couple of new burgers using their ingredients.
Yeah, okay.
And dude, yeah, recommend. Like I would highly recommend. And very similar value.
It's not good, people.
Very similar value.
I'll give a different perspective. I tried some of the Fable stuff you recommend.
That's true.
Throw it out.
But I wouldn't take Mere Mortalites, the recommendations from Kyrin, as a man who will eat very similar to me. I'll look at some of your stuff and I'm like, dude, this would taste so crap.
Mate, so, you're the one who's proud of the fact that he barely can.
I am proud. Yeah, I am proud.
And you're the one giving food advice.
But that's what I mean. I know. I would know because mine's like the worst tasting food, but because I don't care. But I can tell that yours would be a similar way. So I'm like, man.
Yeah.
I'd feel...
What in particular?
All of them, man. Like, mates. Even just like the nachos, the chickens. Dude. I wouldn't take recommendations of food from Kyrin down.
People, this is the guy who...
I wouldn't take them from me. Like, for sure. Don't take it from me.
Yeah, I would not take it from me. Yeah, look, I'm not saying I'm a chef or that you really should be listening to me. And you really shouldn't listen to either of us in any case about anything.
No.
But you were lower on the scale than I am.
Explicitly, if you come here, Mere Mortalites, to think about food and like...
you're in the
wrong podcast. You are not in the right place. Go somewhere else.
Agreed.
So, anyways, that's my monthly goals.
Okay, that's pretty cool. So how many was that all up?
14 all up. So
it's a fair bit, man. You're getting as high as I used to be.
Yeah. Well, some of them are getting smashed out already, which is good. I think I've completed 2 of them already, and a lot of the others are just actually active doing them. So they're becoming easy to flow, especially with the new annual goals. I'm more motivated to do a lot of them.
Stay tuned for that, people. Yeah. What do you reckon? Should we do one on you and one on me, or one joint one?
Well, have you already put down your annual goals?
No, so that's why I'm sort of thinking
I've got over 40. Over 40.
We'll do one and one then. Yeah. Okay. And we'll.
Or we might just do one and we'll split it in the middle or something like that. Well, no, we'll figure it out.
We'll see.
All right, folks. That's it for the monthly goals.
Yeah. Thanks.
Obviously,
thanks for joining us.
Give us your thoughts. Have you had monthly goals that have been spoiled by the lockdown? Or do you live somewhere else in the world, India perhaps, and you're just enjoying yourself? Maybe
I know the family dudes tend to tune into this one. So, what are you up to, Sammy and Don? What are your goals for the the coming
foreseeable
months.
future. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. We'll leave it at that for now, folks. I hope you enjoyed the monthly goals. It doesn't happen often, but it's a little bonus that we give out to you guys. It's more of a, look, this is what we're thinking. This is what we already do.
Yeah.
We'll just put it into audio form. Just talk it out. Obviously, sometimes I think it out. I'll say it. I'll be like, actually, no, that doesn't make sense. And so it kind of helps me out as well.
I think it sort of reflects on what'll be coming in the month as well. So if you looked when some of the goals were about running,
Yeah.
we're talking about running for the next month. So be prepared for that. So be
That's
prepared
right.
for some things about cooking from Juan. Be
That's
prepared
right.
for some more podcasting 2.0 value stuff from me.
Exactly. All right, folks. We'll leave it at that. One out.
Kyrin out.
Booyah!